Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I want to teach you how to weave your ends in so that they are really stuck but not really visible. So let's get to it. All right, let's get started. So to get started, here I have this little bunny sweater. It's super cute. And we have this string coming out of the end of our ribbing, and that's the end that we're going to be weaving today. So I will be using this metal tapestry needle. I like the metal ones because they do not bend like the plastic ones. They're more firm, and that's just really helpful to be able to get into kind of tight stitches. Also, sorry, my nails, they're a whole nother story. All right, so let's thread our needle, and step one is to leave our ends kind of longish. We want about 8 to 10 inches just so we have enough yarn to adequately weave them in. So that's a pretty easy step, but that is step one. Step two is to find a good spot. So you can see how this ribbing is a little bit stretchy and holey, and the body of the sweater is not. So we want to weave our ends into a place that has enough yarn that it like can hide the yarn that we're weaving into it, if that makes sense. Oops. Um, so the body of the sweater, you'll notice that the stitches on the body of the sweater, once we get to it, are close together and they're kind of tighter. So if whatever part of your project that you're working on, you want to find a place that's kind of like that. You don't want like a lacy, open, lots of holes. That makes it really hard. So step three is to weave your ends in multiple directions. And it might kind of sound like you should just weave it all over, but that's not what I'm talking about. So here you can see I'm putting the needle into the stitches. So there's like the top of the stitches on the front side of your project, and then there'll be the other side of the stitches on the other side of the project. You want to weave your needle in between those. So we came out right here. We don't want to go back in right there when we change directions. We want to go over like a piece of yarn or even a whole stitch, because if we just go back through the hole we came out of, it will just undo what we just did. And that's not what we want. So we weave back through some stitches, and it doesn't have to be the same amount. Like you can do more, you can do less, but change directions. And then we're actually going to change directions one more time in this same spot. So again, go over a piece of yarn so that we don't just pull out the whole point that we just did, and go back through. You can get, again, you can do a couple more right here. I'll do a couple more than I initially did. And I can even switch rows. You don't want to switch rows too many times because it will start to like show on your project, but right here it won't because it's like right on the edge. So that is how you weave your ends in. And now if I was to stretch this, the end won't pull out because it's been wove back and forth so many times that it's hard to pull that. It's hard to stretch that. So oftentimes you can see like my string is short now. If you had a short string to start with, then weaving in your ends is really tough, and I am going to give you a bonus tip for that. So felting is something that's traditionally done with raw wool, and you can poke it with your felting needle and create like little things out of it. It's a really cool craft, but we are going to use it for crochet. So what you need is a wool pad like this one that's pretty thick for something to back while you stick your needle into it, and then a felting needle. This felting needle, I don't know if you can see, there's barbs on the end of this needle. Yeah, you can see it right there. And as you poke it into a fiber, it kind of rips and tangles the threads on like a micro level, not to a level to where it's like going to ruin the structure of your yarn or anything. But it does really work for getting rid of ends of things that you can't weave in very well, or just ones that you're trying to poke in that you don't want to pop back out. So the way that you do felting is you just get your little end and you clip it, and then you don't want to felt your stitches too much because they'll turn smooth like this little rat here. We don't want to turn our stitches smooth because that's not going to look good. So what you can do is you can actually push your felting needle in between the stitches, and then all of the yarn that's on the inside of your stitches will tangle together with the felting needle as you poke it, and you have to poke it a lot of times, okay? It's really good at what it does though, so it's worth it. And you can see on the back side of here how this little like tuft has popped out. That is the felting needle kind of like ripping the fibers and tangling them together. So I like to flip it over, and then I will just poke it on the back side as well, poke it back through to the front, tangle those fibers even more. And you don't have to be super careful on the back side because no one's gonna like see the stitches on the inside of your project probably. But then on the front side, I like to kind of like twirl this because it works really good. And then you can just like stuff it in between the stitches. And that is how you felt in your ends. And that is the bonus tip of this video. And now you can see if I pull on this, it doesn't just pop out. The end isn't like retracting back through the stitches that you've pulled it from. And that is my weaving in ends video, you guys. These felting needles, I will link them in the description below. There's tons of different ones on Amazon, and you can buy just the needles, just the wool pad. You can buy everything separately. I really like this kit because it comes with like different size needles and stuff. So I will link this kit in the description below for you guys and this needle. And that is it for this video, you guys. If you like this video or if it helped you, please subscribe to this channel for more tips and also pattern tutorials. And with that, happy crocheting!